Hey guys, welcome to video 8 of my 10-day sprint. I am currently just trying to keep my head above water with all of these videos between planning, filming, and editing these videos, plus having to work a full-time job, plus other life commitments. It has proven to be very difficult. One of the problems is that as my quality standards go up, so does the time it takes to make these videos. The good news is that 7 videos in and I can already see the progress. Videos 6 and 7 were way better than videos 2 and 3, and to see that progress in less than a week is very encouraging. And that is what can happen when you force yourself to keep going, to keep doing something, even when it feels like it might be a complete failure in the moment. So we have one more video to make tomorrow, and then we will be at video 10. Video 10 is definitely going to be some kind of reflection video. I know it's a short sample size, but I'm going to talk to you about my experiences from doing this sprint. I'm going to talk to you about what I've learned, what I want to improve, and what you can expect from this channel going forward. I'm probably going to take about a week off to take some time to learn how to make better videos. That has been the problem with this sprint. I've spent all my time making videos, which has left me very little time to learn. But more on that in video 10. In today's video, we are going to talk about commitment. What it means to commit to something and the advantage that it gives you. I'm going to use some of my own examples from life to give you my perspective on commitment and what it means. I'll start with this sprint. This YouTube sprint, although challenging and time-consuming, has actually been quite awesome. It's been a little microcosm, a small sample size of what can happen when you fully commit to something. I had wanted to start a channel for some time now, but couldn't really convince myself to do it. Then, sort of out of nowhere, and without really thinking about it, I committed to making one video, and in that one video, I committed to making 10 videos in this little 10-day sprint that I'm doing. And here we are today on video 8, and I have already made more YouTube videos in 8 days than I've made in the last 8 years. Here's why that little 10-day commitment was so powerful. It didn't matter if video 1 sucked because I had to make video 2. And it didn't matter if video 2 sucked because I had to make video 3. And it doesn't matter if this video sucks because I have to make video 9 and then video 10 after that. So there's no time to feel embarrassed, to get sad, to get upset because there's more work to do. And of course, this is just a 10-day example. This idea gets more powerful when you apply it to long-term commitments, whether that's 1 year, 5 years, or even an entire lifetime. So another example from my own life is learning Spanish. I committed to learning Spanish almost 2 years ago, and I told myself I was going to learn the language to the point of fluency. Now, for whatever reason, I had it in my head that I was going to be able to do this in 3 to 6 months. I probably got that idea from reading one too many misleading YouTube videos. I think I actually saw a title that said, "How I Learned Italian in 7 Days." Wow. But after 3 to 6 months of struggling through Spanish.
Hola. Repeat after me. Hola.
Hola.
H-O-L-A. Hola.
What the heck does hola mean? I realized I still had a long way to go. And of course, at the time, I felt very discouraged. I felt disappointed, but more than anything, I felt stupid. Everyone else around me was learning a language in 6 months, and I was nowhere close to being fluent. But again, this is where the power of commitment comes in. I told myself in the beginning that I was going to learn Spanish no matter what. So even though I felt frustrated at that time, I was still all in. I didn't care if it took me 10 times longer than everyone else to learn a language, I was going to do it. Fast forward to now, and I've made a ton of progress. I can watch some TV shows in Spanish, depending on the show. I can understand Spanish speakers. I've read both The Alchemist and the first Harry Potter book in Spanish, which was actually really, really difficult. And of course, I'm starting to feel more and more comfortable speaking the language as well. But the point here is that none of that progress would have happened without that initial commitment. Without it, I would have given up at the first sign of adversity. The same thing happened with my golf game. For those of you that don't know, I love golf. I've played my whole life and I've always been sort of average to slightly above average. But a couple years ago, even though I had no idea how I was going to pull it off, I decided I was going to shoot under par. I set that goal and I committed to doing it that year, and I failed. But I got a lot better. I came back the next year more determined than ever to achieve that goal. I practiced more than ever. I filmed myself at the driving range to make sure I had my swing exactly the way I wanted it. I was working on the mental side of my game to make sure that I wasn't getting in my own way. And after all that work, year 2 of trying to make this happen, I had failed again. But I had made even more progress. So really quick here, if you don't know golf, golf is played over 18 holes, and those 18 holes are split into 2 nines, the front 9 and the back 9. I was shooting par on the front 9 or the back 9, but total, I was over par still. So that was incredible progress. I had never done that before, and the only way that I was able to do it is through this commitment to shoot under par. The fun continues this upcoming season. I will do it. So here's what I'm getting at with these examples. If you're going to succeed at something, you have to be 100% committed to it. You have to be all in. Now, yes, being all in or truly committed to something might feel restrictive, because the reality is when you fully commit to something, you are cutting off all other possibilities. But it actually ends up being quite freeing. By focusing on one outcome, you eliminate all other outcomes. You stop having to worry about everything else. You stop wondering, well, should I be doing this? Should I do something else? And in that sense, you eliminate a ton of uncertainty. When you're truly committed to doing something, the only uncertainty should be when you achieve it, not if you achieve it. Here's a great way to think about it. Think of an impactful goal that you want to accomplish. Now commit to doing it in your lifetime, and then go figure out how you're going to do it this year. If it doesn't happen this year, that's fine. Commit to doing it next year, and keep doing that until you achieve it. The value in playing the long game is that the day-to-day failures don't seem as important. Who cares if you failed last week? Who cares if last month didn't go well? Who cares if you came up short over the course of a year? I get that it's going to be frustrating in the moment, but if you're committed to doing it, your only option when you fail is to just keep going until you figure it out. So when something goes wrong, instead of thinking, oh, well, maybe this wasn't such a good idea, maybe I should move on, maybe I should do something else, start thinking, okay, what can I do to make this better? How can I resolve this issue? That mindset is insanely powerful. All right, people, let's bring this home. Let's talk about one more thing here. Let's talk about marriage. Now look, I'm not saying that you have to get married, nor am I saying that you should get married. Do whatever you gotta do. Do what makes you happy. The only reason I bring this up is because marriage is kind of the ultimate commitment. Or at least it's supposed to be. So you say your vows on your wedding day in front of all the people that you care about. You say for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do us part, etc. Now, assuming you actually mean those vows, what you're saying is you will not leave ever. You're saying that no matter what happens, you will stand by that person's side. That is a huge commitment, and it's no wonder why it's not for everyone. It's no wonder why some people don't get married. It is a true act of faith. No one can predict the future. The only way to find that out is to take that leap. And that's exactly what you're doing when you commit to reaching a goal. You don't know if you're going to be able to do it when you start. The only way to find out is if you take the leap, is if you try. But going back to marriage, here's the power of making that commitment. When you take those vows, you and your spouse are committing to one option, to one thing. And maybe by only giving yourself that one option, you actually stand a chance at having a great relationship. Because when things go wrong, and they will, just like everything else in life, you don't get to just walk away. You have to face the problems in the relationship until you resolve them. The same goes for life. If you're truly committed, to living the best life that you possibly can while you're on this planet. You have to face all the difficulties, challenges, and adversities until you overcome them. Thank you for watching. Bye.